Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of October 21st, 2019. Every week we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
This week, we're complaining about kids' birthday parties and obsessing about our kids' peers. Plus, we're taking a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. But today, we're talking about how much relief moms can feel when kids reach a new level of independence. So last week, we talked about some of the perks of parenting and how those perks change as your kids grow and get older. And there's a relief that comes when they start being able to do certain things for themselves.
Yeah.
And there was a great blog post at Swissel, which I will link to, which articulated this very well. You know, her examples being things like, you know, when you can just tell your kid, go take a shower, instead of having to kneel by the side of the bathtub and, you know, do that whole routine. So yeah, I thought we could talk about some of those. Some of mine are, you know, now that, of course, my daughter drives, it's a lot less driving for me. So that is nice. And things like, the go take a shower one is nice, I gotta say. And like packing their food, packing a meal for them if they need it, whether it's a school lunch or in our case, it's usually some other thing. But, you know, just saying like, you need to pack yourself some food.
Yeah.
And they just do it. Some of the time, at least. So do you guys have some of these like waves of relief that wash over you from time to time?
Well, there were certainly milestones as my kids were growing up that I looked forward to and then enjoyed once they happened, because I remember waiting for the day that they could actually get into their car seat by themselves and out by themselves.
Yep.
Oh, I hated bending over and putting them in the, you know, the toddler car seat, not the baby one, but the toddler one, when you had to like, you know, put them in, strap them in. And, I mean, even though they were still walking at that point, it was still, you know, you had to do the buckle thing. And
right.
So I was just so excited when they could actually manage that on their own. And then of course the, getting up in the morning and getting themselves dressed, not having to do that for them.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, even now when like with my daughter on her own on campus and I see her navigating her life on her own and I'm like, oh wow, this is great because I can just come and go.
I'm not doing this right now.
Yeah. She can figure out how she's going to get her own dinner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. And being able to go away go away for a night or two and not have to worry about how they're going to survive.
Right.
That's another plus.
Yeah. How about you, Terry? Have you had some that
I
you've
don't know.
noticed?
I've had sort of mixed reactions with all those milestones, I guess. I mean, there are some that we still really haven't gotten to, like leaving them. You know, my kids are in their 20s, but they both have, you know, disabilities that make some of the milestones a little further off or a little less complete in making. They're still not comfortable being home alone for long stretches of time. We're not real comfortable with it. And my daughter will do a lot of things. She'll make her own lunch and she'll make dinner for herself if she needs to. But my son still, my husband packs his lunch for work, you know, and puts out clothes for him. And with some of the earlier milestones, I mean, you know, it was it's nice when your kid gets out of diapers, except then when you go into public restrooms, they're touching everything. And
Yes.
she's like, oh, I remember those days when I would just take him from the stroller and put him on a changing table. It was so much easier. And, when the kid gets out of a stroller and is walking, wonderful. Now they're going all over the place. It was so nice when he was contained. So I always kind of feel like I have a mixed emotions about a lot of those things. Some of them, I mean, you want them for independence and you want them for maturity. And there are nice things about it for you, but then there are also new problems introduced. I mean, I love having my daughter drive and being able to take herself somewhere and sometimes pick up and drop off my son. But, of course, I'm also worried all the time.
Right.
And, as you mentioned the other day, Catherine, you lose that drive time talking that you used to have. And so I sort of miss that. So I don't know. I guess I'm hard to please. I wish for the release of those things. And then I, kind of am nostalgic for it.
Right.
But I look forward to some of these still.
Like I got so burned out of like the bedtime routine,
just
the whole deal of like the bath and the getting changed and the reading a book and then getting them to actually stay in their beds, and it just was like exhausting. But now you don't have that anymore. Now it's like I go to bed, they're still up.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird, part of you is so relieved to have, sort of jump that hurdle and be on the other side. But then the other part of you is like, oh, okay, I have this.
Like number
time.
one, what am I going to do with my time? And number two, I feel useless and obsolete now.
And it's like, they're taking a shower. Wonderful. Are they cleaning themselves properly? Are they using soap? Is it too short? Is it too long?
What will be the condition of the bathroom when they leave the bathroom?
I guess you still have work to do. It's just a different kind of work.
That's right.
Because you're still going in the bathroom after and picking up all the stuff that they left behind.
Things out. Is the floor of the bathroom actually, is the is the bar of soap damp?
You never left the towel on the floor after bathing them. It's
so I guess it's a different level of work, right?
Yeah, it's like the difference between having total control is taxing, but then at least everything you need to know, and it's. I think in one of the things in the article they were talking about how wonderful it is to have your kid be able to plan their own events with friends and then just go, and you don't have to be setting up the play date with the other mom, and you don't have to be driving people around. But then it's like at least then you knew where they were going, you knew who they were with, you knew when they would be back. You were making all the judgments about who was good to spend time with. So we haven't quite got to that place yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be very happy when it happens. But we're still in the parent planning of things, even in the 20s here.
I'm part way into that. The one is extremely independent and the other one, was planning to just go to the school homecoming dance and bump into people there. And that was freaking me out until finally another mother said to me, how about he comes with us and, they're going to take pictures at this time and then they're going to a restaurant and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, please.
But that's also a boy-girl issue, too, in some respects.
Maybe.
True.
Yeah.
I remember prompting my son when he was in high school and, well, who are you going with? You've got to make plans. You've got to figure all this stuff out. And it was like the day before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. My daughter is definitely more up with the parent responsibility relieving milestones than my son is. And you know what? Probably that's partly our fault because we're not pushing it. We're just as happy to be doing things for him. So I keep thinking we should back off on some things, but then even then it will involve a certain amount of organization on my part that I'm just not ready for.
Mm-hmm.
Like organizing his clothes in such a way that he could easily pick out what he was going to wear would involve like kind of a closet makeover. And clearing off shelves that have stuff on them that I've asked to have cleared off for a long time, and it has not happened. So
right, don't touch my items.
Exactly, exactly. There are drawers right by his bed. I said, buddy, if you emptied out all the junk that's in those drawers, we could put clothes in them and you could pick them out to wear in the morning. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. It's been like 6 months easily. So,
yeah,
some of it is just entropy. It just,
right.
We just keep doing what we always do. But, it's a mix. It's like we've talked about independence, that you want them to have it, and yet at the same time,
hold on,
you're not so sure it's a good idea.
Wait a minute.
Or they're just, they're older and you'd expect them to be doing it by now and they're not.
Yeah.
So,
it's
like they're capable of doing it,
mm-hmm.
but they're just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's, of course, I'm referring to my adult son who is currently living at home.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, which is more work for me? Doing the thing for him or enabling him to do the thing? And sometimes doing the thing is less.
Yeah.
Like laundry, like having your kids do the laundry. That's a wonderful thing. But then you want to do a load and their stuff's in the laundry and, or they do something that messes up the machine or they put all their, it's sometimes it creates a whole nother set of problems. Just give me your laundry. Just
mm-hmm.
give it and go away.
Let me do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still waiting for the day that my dog will reach certain milestones. Never mind our kids. So maybe that can be our topic for next time.
There you go.
Waiting for the day that my dog can sit through this podcast and not make a noise. My apologies to listeners.
Yeah, well, that's what gives our podcast a little extra oomph, is the dog noises in the background.
We also offer sound effects for you.
Make you feel like you have a dog, whether you do or not.
Yes.
Feel free to yell at our podcast. Shh.
Exactly.
Sit down. Stop that.
That's it for today's round 1, folks. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.